next thing, as I mentioned, working about in insane environment with 6,000 other people from all over the world, of course you have to be really adaptive. You have to have a lot of respect. You have to have a lot of tolerance for yourself and for other people, because culture will clash, man. Like I'm telling you, people from all over the world living together in a contained environment is a really really tough situation when you look at it that way. But if you have a really good tolerance and respect towards other people, I think it's gonna be a lot more less challenging than you think it will be. And I think it's gonna be a good way to live on board, because that's how people should. People who lives on board should have a lot of respect and tolerance to other, and that's what we need to getting along together. Because like I mentioned, like you're gonna see a lot of different cultures and a lot of different habits that you're not found in your countries, that you're gonna find it peculiar or weird, but in their countries or in their cultures it's just a common thing. So you have to be really adaptive about that. And social attitudes and communications, yes, communications will be really tough because there's gonna be a lot of language barriers, especially when we talk about accent. And there's a lot of accent that people have. We have Latin accent, we have an Caribbean accent, which is by far for me is the toughest accent there is, because they speak English, but in their accent is just hard. And we have a lot of bosses from the Caribbean, and sometimes to be honest it's really understand what they're trying to say when we give you instructions. So you have to be really patient and have a good listening skills, and if you don't understand you just ask, like, what do you mean? It's a common thing, and they will agree, and they will gladly repeat it, the questions or the instruction for you in a better way, I assume. Okay, so about the earning tips, yeah, we have a lot of tips working on board, especially it's a hotel business basically, right? It's and tips are a really common thing in the hotel business and the hotel industry. And yes, we do have a lot of side jobs if you want, like official and unofficial side jobs. Like if unofficial side jobs, we can do haircuts or laundries or another services that you can provide for others. And official side jobs, like we have luggage support or housekeeping support, or etc etc. So yeah, it's a really good life in money base, right? And issues and racial discriminations, favoritisms, right? These things do exist, especially if you have favoritism and in a certain racial base. So let's say, like, if you come from a same country, of course you will have a different and easier access towards what you wanted. That's what we call paisano business. And those things do exist in ship's life, and you have to be able to get along with it. I know it's a really tough and unfair process, but that's life, especially in ship life. Those things happens. Medical issues. So far, while I'm living on board, I don't have any medical issues. If we do have any medical issues, the company will provide, and the company will take full responsibilities of any medical issues. That's a really good thing that we have, and it's for benefits working in a Royal Caribbean company. All right. Excuse me. Living on board, living quarters, accommodations. We talk about food, culture, diversity. Right. Accommodation, it could be really hard if you don't have the habits living in a small and contained environment, because we have to share a cabin with other people, which is really really tight, and you have to have a lot of respect and tolerance, like I've mentioned before, because it's really really it could be really stressful when you look at it that way. But when you have a lot of tolerance, life could be easier for you. The food is good because we have a lot of different food in different days. We have international food. Sometimes we have Filipino food. Sometimes we have Indonesian food. Sometimes we have Asian, European food, Caribbean food, and those different days, and they're gonna take over each other. So it's gonna be good if you have a lot of appetite. Okay, relationships. Okay, of course, relationship happens on board because you are living away from your families and loved ones for 8 months, and you working and living in the same contained environment over and over and every day. Of course, you're gonna be want to be loved. You're gonna be missing someone, or you want to have people care for you, and you're gonna meet a lot of people in the same day. You're gonna meet them every day. It's gonna be easy to have a relationship on board, but it depends on you. Like, do you see it that way, or do you see it like more like a family-minded person or whatever? But relationships do happen on board, right? Excuse me. Group parties and activities, we do also have that. We have a lot of parties on board. We have a lot of activities. We have tours provided by the companies, and there's a lot of parties, man. Like all crew party, Caribbean party, Latin party, you name it. We have all kinds of party, and it takes place every week. So if you're a party animal, you're not gonna be bored, man. Yep, and I think that's gonna be about it. So yeah. Okay, one more question. Were you prepared for the intensity of ship life, and how do you overcome it? Like I say, it's gonna be take a lot of tolerance and respect. Those are like the main key to have a good life on board. Tolerance and respect. So yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you for listening, and mabuhay. Maraming salamat.